A home is a place that provides security and links to a community and support network. Under UK law, those with a roof over their head can be considered homeless if they have no legal right to be there or it's unsuitable for habitation. Men account for between 55% of homeless applicants for support in Scotland and 64% in Northern Ireland. Street homelessness refers to demographics of people who routinely find themselves literally on the streets during the day and struggle to find somewhere to sleep at night. They may sleep at a friend's for a short time, stay in a hostel, night shelter or squat, or spend nights in prison or hospital. Or they may sleep rough, with rough sleeping defined as bedding down in the open air or buildings or other places not designed for habitation, for example barns, sheds, cars or derelict buildings. The charity Crisis found in 2016, when talking to rough sleepers, that more than 1 in 3 have been hit, kicked or experienced some other form of violence while homeless. Over 1 in 3 have had things thrown at them. Almost 1 in 10 have been urinated on. More than 1 in 20 have been the victim of a sexual assault. Almost half have been intimidated or threatened with violence. And 6 in 10 have been verbally abused or harassed. The Office of National Statistics have been estimating rough sleeper deaths since 2013, and their robust but conservative model found 726 deaths in England and Wales in 2018. Drug poisoning claimed 40% of those lives, with alcohol-specific deaths and suicide both accounting for 12% each. As researcher Bethany Thomas has pointed out with regards to rough sleepers, homelessness kills, and with men being 86% of rough sleepers and accounting for 88% of rough sleeper deaths, homelessness is killing men predominantly. Between 2010 and 2019, there was an 141% rise in the number of rough sleepers. Although the number has been steadily dropping since 2018, a full 9% between 2018 and 19, spurred on by the Rough Sleeping Initiative set up by the government in 2018, which funds accommodation and support staff. In January 2020, the government committed to end rough sleeping by the end of this Parliament, and the silver lining of this pandemic is that they've nearly reached their target early, with more than 90% of rough sleepers being offered a place to stay by last March, backed by £433 million for 4 years of investment, both in housing stock and support for mental health and substance abuse problems and other needs, so that the newly housed can stay off the streets. It's hard not to be awestruck by this unlikely miracle, but the road ahead promises to be bumpy, with a new wave of COVID-made homeless people hitting the streets who can't afford rent after being made jobless by the pandemic. And of those who have recently been housed, their needs can be exponentially complex, with traumatic childhood events such as abuse and neglect affecting most, according to the Joseph Rowntree Foundation, many having experienced institutional care, mental health problems and jail time. Shelter found in 2005 that 21% of the street homeless reported family conflict as the main reason they were homeless, and that in 2001, 14% of rough sleepers had served in the armed forces. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation also found in 2011 that most complex needs was experienced by homeless men aged between 20 and 49, especially in their 30s. The pandemic gave us cause and opportunity to care, but will the empathy gap prove to be a bridge too far for us to maintain the momentum? Are we able to provide these vulnerable, mainly men, with the holistic, sophisticated, sensitive support that they need? Can we possibly hope that in listening to this cohort, a political will may be born to initiate the kinds of structural changes that are needed to prevent the birth of new generations of homeless, rough sleepers? I'm talking about support for male victims of domestic abuse, improved support for ex-servicemen, care while they're inside and support at the gate for those leaving institutions, for justice in separations. Because too many men are forced, in the UK, in the current year, with empowered women who don't need no man, to financially support ex-wives, often beyond their means, although means has nothing to do with the obscene unfairness of this archaic practice. Women are strong, women are amazing. Women don't need money from men they're no longer in a relationship with. COVID-19 has changed the streets, but for the landscape not to return to the bad old days, we need to change, radically and with haste. Thank you for listening.